Alpine Air.
Well, I'm assuming we're on the air, better late than never. Happy Tuesday, 14th day of May, 2024. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Beautiful day, beautiful morning, 54 degrees, a little windy. Getting sick of the wind yet? We're not done with it. Going to be breezy today, off and on winds throughout the course of the week. At one point last night at about a little after 8, we had a wind gust at Pangborn Memorial Airport over 50 miles an hour. It was 53, a 53 mile an hour wind gust at Pangborn last night. Now, it is prone to wind because of where it's located physically within the Wenatchee Valley. It has a tendency to get a little windy up at Pangborn, but that's pretty good gust. And we still got some windy conditions, but a lot of sunshine, so there's your trade-off there. Forecast details will lead off our festivities, as they always do. A lot of news to get to. Very busy day yesterday and a busy morning this morning for yours truly. We'll have your latest news in just a couple of minutes. Good news, we checked in with Ed Nags early this morning, about 6 o'clock, a little after 6 o'clock, see how his opening day run is going, as he's running, of course, from Wenatchee to Corvallis, Oregon, to raise money for two really cool organizations. We checked in with Ed. We'll have that during sports. We'll have Erica Moshi visiting us again from the Brave Warrior Project. Their big superhero walk is this Sunday. We'll check in with Erica, and a brand new opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. It's a jam-packed program. It's a scenario that happens a couple times a month. We have 5 pounds worth of programming in a 4-pound bag to get it in, so let's go. Let's take our tour around north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley with our Wenatchee Heights camera. Again, the Columbia River is starting to rise up a little bit. There's a couple of bars, those big areas of sand that are out in the middle of the Columbia from the runoff of both the Anaat and the Wenatchee, and when I see those bars covered up with water, that's when I know it's really starting to take off. They're not quite there yet, but the river is running a little cold and a little fast, but not quite high yet. Last year this time, we were a little worried about how high the rivers were going to get. Well, that's not really a case right now, because also we didn't have as much snow. It continues to recede. Speaking of snow melting, Lake Wenatchee chimes in with the snow melting. Now, if you look at the the north face of Dirty Face Mountain, you can see the snow is almost all gone. That was not the case when we used that camera last Friday. Of course, we had all that warm weather, and you can see how much the snow is beginning to melt in the Cascades up the Little Wenatchee and the White River. Beautiful day up there. And the nice thing about the wind keeps the mosquitoes out of the way. They don't like the wind, so the folks up in Lake Wenatchee and Fish Lake, they can handle a little bit of wind if that means no skeeters. To the Cougar Ridge camera, see how the traffic is flowing on this Tuesday morning. Doesn't look to have any real problems at all over the Otabashian Bridge and the intersection of Sunset Highway and Highway 2 on their way to Orondo or wherever else you may be going. And let's check in with monitor camera, looking back towards Kashmir. It's an exposed camera, so it's moving around a little bit. You can see all of Kashmir, really. For that matter, you can see a good chunk of monitor as well. Still some snow, of course, in the Cascades. It's moving around pretty good, but it's supposed to move. Those towers are designed to move when the wind blows, so they don't just break in two and fall down. That would be bad. From the National Weather Service, let's get right to it. Upper level ridge will briefly rebound today and tomorrow, which means we're going to have some wind, but not as windy as yesterday. We'll top off at 78. For the record, we hit 76 yesterday, so a couple of degrees warmer. 53 for the overnight low tonight, and the wind will be picking up in intensity. So not too, we'll call it breezy today, but it's going to be just plain windy tonight and all day Wednesday. With a forecast high of 81, we'll have sustained winds at good 20 miles an hour on Wednesday, and windy on Wednesday night with an overnight low of 56. Little breezy on Thursday with a high of 81. Then we really cool down with another system comes in just in time for the weekend. It's actually going to come into the region Thursday night into Friday, and that's going to cool us down quite a bit. but at least we won't really have to deal with the wind a great deal. So keep in mind that the normal high temperature this time of the year is 71, so even though we will cool down Thursday and Friday, or Friday and Saturday, I should say, it's still above normal. So lots of sunshine. That's the run thing for everybody. The clouds that we have right now will be long gone by about noon today. We're going to take a break, and then we'll let you know what made news in the Wenatchee Valley with the news. In 2 minutes, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. The family at the Epplodolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epplodolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epplodolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epplodolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Few high clouds, 54 degrees, a little breezy today, downright windy tonight. Wednesday and really into Thursday, we calm down and cool down by Friday, but the one constant throughout the forecast period, sunshine and a lot of it. 7 minutes after the hour, Colville members airlifted to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle after he lost control of his car, which came to rest in Lake Chelan. This happened near Manson. According to the Washington State Patrol, 37-year-old Eric G. Corbally was driving a 2004 Infiniti FX35 westbound on State Route 150. This happened about 7:30 last evening when he lost control, struck a guardrail, and plowed into the lake where it came to rest on its top. Corbally was flown by life flight to Harborview with serious injuries. The cause of the accident is under investigation. The Infiniti remains in the lake as of this morning. An accident involving a passenger van and a semi-truck at the Lauderdale Junction. This is where Highway 97 and State Route 970 meet up. Well, it sent the driver of the van also to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. The driver of the Washington State Patrol says the 44-year-old Jennifer J. Lewis of Chelan. She was driving a 2004 Dodge Grand Caravan northbound on Highway 97 when she failed to stop at the stop sign and was struck by a semi that was traveling northbound at that intersection. Lewis was airlifted to Harborview with unknown injuries. The driver of the semi was not injured. Harris was not wearing a seatbelt. Both the van and the semi were totaled. The law enforcement team investigating that May 4th exchange of gunfire in Moses Lake between police and a suspect has released video of the incident. The footage from police body cams and dash cams show Moses Lake Police Sergeant Adam Monroe and Officer Todd Taylor confronting 37-year-old Zachary Stockton at his room at the Motel 6 in Moses Lake. They negotiated with him to come out unarmed. Stockton refused, fired multiple shots, as did police. Stockton was wounded in the hand. Monroe was wounded in the foot. The suspect faces multiple criminal counts. The Columbia Basin investigative team is reviewing that incident. A Moses Lake man charged with child rape must undergo a second trial. His jury was unable to reach a verdict last week. 23-year-old Caden Ray Chisholm has awaited trial in Chelan County since 2022. That's when he was arrested for allegedly sexually abusing 2 children who were in his care about 7 years ago. Jurors deliberated for about 6 hours after 3 days of testimony. Then they told Judge Robert Jordan that they could not reach an agreement on the 2 felony counts facing Chisholm. Another hearing is scheduled for tomorrow to discuss a new trial. A failure in a Wenatchee storm sewer has caused a sinkhole on 5th Street underneath the bicycle lane. The pavement between Chelan Avenue and North Emerson became deformed by a 2-foot hole in one section of the pipe, and another 35-foot section where the bottom of the sewer had eroded away completely. The City Council on Thursday passed an emergency declaration to repair the sewer. That means it doesn't have to go through a competitive bidding process. The cost of the repairs, don't know, but it could be paid for in part by a low-interest loan from the State Public Works Board. Wenatchee's former police station has a buyer, or soon will be anyway. The City Council voted in March to surplus the old police station at 135 South Chelan, right across the street from us. Last Thursday, they agreed to purchase and sale agreement, I should say, with Wenatchee real estate agent Nick McLean. The price, $525,000. The 3-story brick police headquarters dates back to 1931. It was in use by the police department until 2004. That's when they moved across the alley to their location on Mission Street. Wenatchee City Administrator Laura Gloria says the contract for sale must still be approved by the city's lawyers, but the deal is likely to close sometime in July. The Wenatchee Row and Paddle Club has teamed up with the Chelan PUD to announce 2 new murals on the club's building. Located right at the bottom of 9th Street and Walla Walla Avenue, the annex's front will display the silhouettes of both a kayaker and a rower. The side of the annex will display a mural that says, "See you on the trail," and it highlights waterfront recreational activities. Both murals will be painted by Leavenworth artist Amanda Gibbs of Gibbs Graphics. The budget, $25,000, which was provided by the Wenatchee Row and Paddle Club's private donations. Amanda says the murals will be completed by the end of this week. And 8th District Congresswoman Kim Schreier is sending her mobile office to Leavenworth this Friday. Mobile offices are outreach efforts in which congressional staffers can meet with constituents to help through their questions and issues. The visits can help mediate problems you might have with the IRS, Social Security, the Veterans Administration, and so forth. Schreier's staff will be on hand from 10:30 a.m. to 1 o'clock Friday at the Leavenworth Public Library, located inside Leavenworth City Hall. That's the news at 12 minutes after the hour. If you think it's important to know what's going on around here, we have a news staff that does exactly that. We'll be gathering the news, writing the news, disseminating the news, and then out it comes with the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. That's the television times, 5, 6, and 10. It'll also be up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com, our Facebook page, our YouTube page, our app. We're all over social media, even though, quite frankly, at times it scares me. Download the app if you want. There's a QR code right there, and if something out there warrants our attention, you get a hold of us by sending us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Nice victory for the Seattle Mariners. They're playing some pretty good baseball. We caught up with Ed Nags this morning on his opening day run. We'll see what Ed's up to. He looks pretty good for a guy who's ran almost 200 miles. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now.
I'm currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
Water is essential to living. From clean drinking water for good health to clean water for your pool or spa. Central Washington Water, your water experts. With whole home water filtration systems for your home's best water. Products and supplies to keep your pool and spa water crystal clear. To a full parts department. Count on Central Washington Water for expert help. Shop screen to screen. Come in or call about a backyard consultation. Central Washington Water, your water care professionals.
My name's Nick Dirk, and I've been a cinematographer-photographer for over 10 years. I got my start at the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center. Without the Tech Center, I wouldn't have got my first job in media production 3 months after I graduated high school.
My name is Charlie Voris, and I own Vortex Productions. My work has taken me on exciting adventures all around the world, and I got my start at Wenatchee Valley Tech.
Hey, my name is Oli Mingo, and I'm the Executive Director at Heirloom Creatives in Wenatchee. I am so thankful for Wenatchee Valley Tech to be able to have my dream career.
Hey folks, this is Blueberry Carrie bringing you a public service announcement. With today's fast pace, sometimes you just need to be reminded to just breathe. Come on out to Blueberry Hills and enjoy the panorama of beautiful blueberry fields and these gorgeous North Cascades Mountains. Your food is always cooked fresh to order, and our down-home scratch country recipes are always well worth the wait. Our delicious breakfast dips, pies, and pastries await you and your family. So come on out to Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Quarter after the hour, George Kirby says he likes to pitch when he's mad. He must have been pretty mad last night. He says he pitches better because he pitched really well. He allowed just 3 hits over 7 shutout innings. Luke Raley hit a 2-run home run, drove in 3 runs. The Seattle Mariners beat Kansas City 6-2 last night.
High lift the opposite way. MJ Melendez is into the corner, and well, you talk about a basket catch, and it's true as form. Hot start for that guy out there. Again, this one a little straightened out a little bit more. Let's see, into the corner. What we got? He's got both. He got them both. Jerry, give that man a contract.
What are the chances?
I mean, this guy has got a future here. Digging in there. Line off of Pasquantino's glove and into right field. And Cal Raleigh is aboard. He's thinking too. He's thunder into second base. And he slides in safe. Guess the head first dive was out of the question there.
I would hope so. Yeah, exactly.
So Haniger called looking at his strikeout number 2 for Brady Singer, and 1 on and 1 away. Raley in his last 16 games batting .295, a home run, and 4 runs batted in.
Shot to center, blasted back out of a cannon and gone off the batter's eye. Luke Raley with a straightaway blast. He has put the Mariners in front of the second inning.
432 feet gives you a real idea, good idea how strong he is.
Oh no, they tried it.
His 3rd hit on the homestand. He's now 3 for 14. A homer and a couple runs batted in. Good way to start this 3rd inning.
Into right field for a base hit. Julio making the turn. Sprints into 3rd base, and he gets in there safe. Runners on the corners.
Right back at it again.
Over 30 pitches for Singer in the second. Now facing Cal Raleigh, who doubled his first time up. Well, this is charged out to center field. It is on the track at the wall. It stays in the yard. Julio is in. Polanco can only push into second. Everybody was waiting to see if Blanco would take it away or not.
Cal was about 3/4 of the way to second, but everybody had to make sure he didn't catch the ball. That's a long, loud RBI single. 3-0 Mariners here in the 3rd. Another RBI for Cal is 24th, and he's got a 2 for 2 night working. So 1 down, and that'll bring up Luke Raley. You know Luke's feeling good about himself. He powered a home run. It was first here at T-Mobile Park as a Mariner.
On the ground, quickly skimming into right field. Polanco is being waved home. Here comes the throw home. It's offline. Polanco scores standing, and the Mariners tack on another run here in the 3rd inning. What a night it's been so far for Luke Raley. Is aboard a 1-out single. That's his 3rd hit tonight.
What a night for Raley, his 3rd base hit.
Raley takes off, and he is into second base.
I'll tell you what, for a big man, he gets a heck of a jump. Once he's off and running, he's on his way, and a big stolen base for Luke. Now base hit gives you a huge insurance run. Here's Ty France.
A high fly ball out to left field, blasted back. Insurance delivered by Ty France.
Ty France with his 3rd home run of the season, and he gives the Mariners the insurance runs the Mariners were looking for here in the bottom of the 8th, and it's now the Mariners 6 and Kansas City.
Game 2 of the 3-game series is tonight at 6:40 on Root Sports. Logan Gilbert will start for Seattle. Michael Wacha pitches for Kansas City. Mariners extend their lead in the division to a 1.5 over the Rangers, who got shut out by the Guardians last night. The final there was 7-0. Angels lose. Cardinals doubled them up 10-5. The Astros got by the Athletics 9-2. All right, state baseball begins today. In fact, there's a lot of state action going on today in the spring sports. In the 2B baseball tournament, Okanagan will take on Northwest Christian. That will be at Central Valley High School in Spokane at 4 o'clock this afternoon. At 4:30 at Historic Recreation Park right here in Wenatchee this afternoon, it'll be Asotin taking on Liberty Bell. In the state 1B tournament today at DeSales, Moses Lake Christian will take on DeSales. All of these from this point forward, loser out. State softball gets underway. The Big 9 District play-in games are today. Wenatchee will be at Sunnyside at 4 o'clock. Lose and you're done. Winner and you keep on going. Eastmont will host Eisenhower at 5 o'clock at the Sterling Fourplex again in a loser-out game. In the District 5 and 6 2A tournament in Othello today, Sealer will take on East Valley at 4 o'clock in a loser-out game. Othello will host Ephrata for the championship at 6 o'clock. And finally, in the District 6 2B tournament, today, Lake Roosevelt will be at Okanagan at 4:30 for the District 6 2B Championship, and Brewster will take on Tenasket at 4:30 in a loser-out game. And I had a chance to check in with Ed Nags at about a little after 6 o'clock this morning as Ed continues his opening day run. Here's a little Zoom catch-up with our good buddy Ed. Ed Nags is joining me for his opening day run. He left Wenatchee, Washington at about 8 o'clock in the morning back on Wednesday, May 1st. It is now the 14th, so he's 13 days into the run, all of it to raise money for the Only 7 Seconds Foundation up in Chelan and Trillium Family Services down there in Oregon, where Ed calls his summertime home. First of all, Ed, where are you, buddy?
Great question. We are on the Columbia. So we are starting, which would be 10 miles west of Patterson, Washington, on Highway 14, the famous Lewis and Clark Highway. Meriwether and Bill. So yeah, we're not going by a lot, right? It's beautiful out here. So we're on our way getting to where a little more populated, but not much right here as far as in the line of towns.
So sometime this morning, you are going to reach a milestone on your quest, right?
Every mile is a milestone, but today is our 14th day. So at the end of, this morning we do our 10, which will get us over 200. But at the end of our day with a half mile to go, so at 14 and a half miles today, we officially will be halfway from Wenatchee to Corvallis. So yeah, it's kind of a big day, hump day, I guess, in the run.
How you holding up, Ed? How's your body handling this?
Better than I maybe anticipated at this point. You know, there's soreness, but it's kind of the same every day. And, you know, I think having my brother, my crew chief, has been huge. He's taken care of a lot of this stuff, but just trying to sleep as much as I can when it's time to rest. I think that's been key. And then just, you know, this isn't a race for me, so I'm not trying to do any great distance real fast. So I'm keeping my heart rate low and getting a lot of rest.
What's your reaction from the people as you make your trip from Wenatchee to Corvallis? You're jogging along some rural highways, some 2-lane highways. There was some pretty light traffic, but are people stopping and saying, what's this all about? Are you getting that?
Yeah, that's usually when we stop. Not a lot of the truckers and people along the highway going 65. Or, you know, I'm sure they're wondering what in the heck is that guy doing? Get off the road. You know, there's some people that honk, I think, to you, but there's people that honk at you. So we've had a little bit of both. But when we have stopped and people wonder what we're doing, you know, oh, that's great. I mean, everyone's been real positive. And crew chief yesterday stopped and someone wanted to find out what was going on, and they gave him some cash for a donation on the way. That was kind of fun. That was neat. So a lot of those kind of stories, and we're meeting a lot of different people. And when you're traveling at basically about 5 to 6 miles an hour, it's a totally different trip traveling. So it's been real neat to do something slowly that way and really take it all in. It's been fun.
So you've had a chance to enjoy the scenery, even though you got that runner's brain, that kind of narrow focus going to keep your pace going and everything, but you're still having a chance to enjoy the beauty of the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to live up here for so long. But yeah, when you're going really slow, you have a chance to, I think, marvel a little bit more just how beautiful it is. See things that you maybe don't see when you're traveling at 70 and having to get somewhere. So that's been special. Yeah.
Well, let's give Ed some serious love, folks. Again, he's raising money for Trillium Family Services and the Only 7 Seconds nonprofit foundation, which are both of those organizations are very close to Ed's heart. You can follow Ed every day on his Facebook page, Opening Day Run. He has an Instagram page. He has an X page. He's got a daughter who is tech savvy, because trust me, Ed is not. And when we check in again, Ed, you'll probably be in Oregon, I'm guessing, right?
I think we will hit Oregon in 125 miles. I don't know how many days that is, but we've got about another 10 on this, got another 10 on the Lewis and Clark Trail.
And again, you can follow, they actually have an Ed tracker on the website, openingdayrun.com. You can actually track Ed's progress. He's 195 miles in, baby. You're going to make it, my friend. Ed, best of luck. We love you here at the NCAA Life Channel. We'll be in touch, and we'll try and check in maybe one more time before the week is out, all right?
Sounds good. I appreciate all your help and everything that everyone else has done so far for this cause, and hopefully we can get some more money raised.
Ed Nags, everybody, on the Opening Day Run. Thanks, Ed. Good stuff from Ed. Again, we'll check in early in the morning on Friday. The one thing Ed said before we went on the air, he said, it's really windy. Well, of course, he's in the Columbia River Gorge. He's going to have to deal with the wind. It is blowing right in his face as he runs towards the ocean. Way to go, Ed. And that's sports at 26 minutes after the hour. For the obscure holiday, there wasn't a lot to choose from. It's National Buttermilk Biscuit Day, which kind of sounds good. A little jam on top. National Dance Like a Chicken Day, not going to go there. It's National Decency Day, which should be every day, but today is Independence Day in Paraguay, so we're going to give Paraguay a little love. Landlocked right smack dab in the middle of South America. It was the Spanish who took over Paraguay. The natives didn't much go for that, and in 1811, they had a revolution. On May 14th, they took over from the Spaniards, and they've been partying ever since. Fun facts about Paraguay. The literacy rate in Paraguay is 95%. The literacy rate in the United States is 86%. They got us beat there. Paraguay has the largest navy of any landlocked country in the world. They are landlocked, but they do have a lot of rivers that eventually lead to the Atlantic Ocean. And dueling is legal in Paraguay, but both participants in the duel must be registered blood donors, which makes sense. So we want to wish a happy Independence Day to our friends in Paraguay. It's 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history, that is Louis XIV, and on this date, 381 years ago, May 14th, 1643, Louis XIV became the King of France upon the death of his father, Louis XIII, and he would reign over the Empire of France for 72 years and 110 days. That is the longest reign of any sovereign ever. 72 days, 72 years, 110 days, longer than even Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. How did he pull off such a feat? Well, when he got the gig on this date, in 1643, Louis XIV, when he became king, was 4 years old. That's how that works out. How would you like to have a 4-year-old president? 224 years ago, May 14th, 1800, the 6th Congress adjourned, and then everybody moved. From Philadelphia to Washington, D.C., it took most of the summer, but the process of the U.S. government moving from Philadelphia to the brand new capital city of Washington, D.C. began, which isn't such a bad idea, because what do you do when you move, either across town or across state? You go through all the junk that you don't need anymore and you throw it away. So I say we move the nation's capital to like Omaha I mean, we take the buildings with us. They're beautiful buildings, you know, the Capitol, the White House, the Supreme Court building, the Smithsonian, the Treasury Department. We take the buildings with us, but we just go through the cellar and the attic and we throw all the junk out we don't need. Just a thought. There they go. Ed Naggs mentioned Lewis and Clark. Well, they took off on this date. In 1804, the Lewis and Clark expedition, the Corps of Discovery, leaves Camp Du Bois and begins their historic journey traveling up the Missouri River. That's the historic marker right there. Where they actually had the Camp Du Bois is now under the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River has a tendency to change its banks on a regular basis. This was 220 years ago, so where they actually left is now under about 15 feet of water, so they have that instead. Close enough. Congress appropriated $2,324 for supplies and food. It would actually cost about $10 grand for the trip, and of course only one person died. And it wasn't from an injury or an accidental shooting. He had appendicitis. Sergeant Charles Floyd, the only one who died on the whole trip. That's a remarkable statistic. They left 220 years ago. They would eventually find the Pacific Ocean the following spring. 76 years ago today, Israel is born. Israel is declared to be an independent state. A provisional government is set up. The neighbors in Israel didn't take too kindly to this, and before you know it, they had war. Basically, all the Arab states that surrounded Israel said, we ain't gonna have that, and they immediately went to war about Israel just declaring themselves a country. We recognized Israel immediately. I think that helped a little bit. Happy 76th birthday to Israel, who's been in the news way too much. And 56 years ago today, John Lennon and Paul McCartney spent 4 days in New York City to promote their brand new company, the Beatles' brand new company, the Apple Corps. They did press junkets and news conferences and stuff. And they closed out their visit by being on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. But as you look at the photo, Johnny ain't there. Johnny picked the wrong day to take off. Instead, the show was hosted by Joe Garagiola, of all people. Tallulah Bankhead was co-host. At least Ed was there. And John and Paul made their only appearance on The Tonight Show. John did most of the talking because, as Paul said later on, I was pretty stoned. The Beatles, or at least John and Paul, made their only appearance on The Tonight Show on this date, 1968. Birthdays. Walden Robert Casotto, better known as Bobby Darin, the great Bobby Darin, born in the state in 1936. Didn't live very long, had rheumatism as a child, had a weak heart. Died at the age of 37 in 1973. Wrote the hit Splish Splash, went to #1. Dream Lover, If I Was a Carpenter, Mac the Knife, spent 9 weeks at #1. Beyond the Sea, an Academy Award nominee, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Bobby Darin, born in the state in 1936. George Lucas is 80 years old today. Has there been a more successful, is there a richer person in Hollywood than this guy? I mean, he founded Lucasfilms, the Star Wars franchise, the Indiana Jones franchise. He wrote and directed American Graffiti, a great movie, one of my all-time favorites. When he sold Lucasfilm to Disney for like $4 billion, something like that, I think it was over $4 billion. George Lucas is the second largest single stockholder in the Walt Disney Company. Only the estate of Steve Jobs has more stock. George Lucas is 80 years old today. David Byrne, this ain't no party, this ain't no disco, this ain't no fooling around, baby. He's 72 years old, the leader of the Talking Heads. Love the music there. Mark Zuckerberg is 40. I checked yesterday, his net worth is $167 billion. When he was 23 years old, he became the youngest self-made billionaire ever. Mark Zuckerberg celebrates a milestone. He's 40, and happy 35th to Gronk. 3-time Super Bowl winner, 4-time All-Pro, the All-Decade team, the All-Century team, Rob Gronkowski. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor. We love our friends at Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They know HVAC systems as good as anybody out there. Trust me on that. Pool to Spa Services on Worthen Street in Wenatchee. I think they're celebrating like their 35th year in business. They've been at it for a long time. You don't get to stay in business for 35 years unless you know what you're doing there. And our friends at Colonial Vista, Prestige Senior Living, specifically at Colonial Vista, both in Wenatchee and in East Wenatchee. A brand new opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. You've never seen it because we've never aired it. And then we're going to replay our visit with Erica Moshi from the Brave Warrior Project. They finally have a place to call their own, and their big annual fundraiser that you can help out is this Sunday. Erica will join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
The Lake Chelan Rotary Club invites you to experience Cycle Chelan, held each year on the third Saturday in June. Pick your thrill from 3 rides: the Metric Century Challenge, Cycle Divino, or the Lake Loop. All profits from Cycle Chelan are used to support student scholarships and other charitable activities of the Lake Chelan Rotary Club. Cycle Chelan, a route for every rider. Pick your thrill today.
I chose Pinnacles because they embrace and lift people with different learning styles.
It's a school where I can be myself, creative, and be successful.
There's a lot of hands-on activity, and
you get to really connect with the community here because we're all one. We get to see each other often. It's a small building.
The teachers care about you and make sure there is equity in the classroom.
They take care of them as a whole. They see them as a name, not a number.
For more than 60 years, Crown Furniture and Mattress has been making North Central Washington the most comfortable place to live, one home at a time. We're offering store-wide savings and closeouts. Save on recliners, mattresses, dining, sofa and loves, occasional tables, and bedroom groups. Some items discounted to employee pricing. There's no better time to purchase quality at a great price. Limited to stock on hand. See us today at 736 South Wenatchee Avenue, across from Stan's.
I think we already have the legendary pizza, really, and I hope it just continues.
We have a free pizza slip. We get free pizzas, and if something happened to Abby's, we wouldn't have free pizza anymore. Think about that, huh?
No.
Yeah.
Every day is Taco Tuesday at Abby's. Our Taco Especial is on sale 7 days a week, loaded with beef or chicken, onions, olives, tomatoes, cheddar cheese, and lettuce. It's a pizza that you won't forget. Dine in or order online for takeout or delivery right to your door.
This is Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm not much of a fan of liberal or progressive politics. I'm really not. And whether or not it's this current administration's fault, like all of us, I don't like the way inflation is going, and it's disturbing how expensive everything has become. But I'll tell you this. I will not sell my soul and vote for a morally corrupt individual for president just because I want lower gas prices. This is Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hey, hon, would you run this around to the wash rack?
Oh, okay.
Hey, hon, what happened?
They shrunk the truck.
The all-new midsize Canyon is now available at Sangster Motors.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
A walk on Wooden Avenue wouldn't be complete without a stop at the Chelan Chamber of Commerce. There you'll find all the information you need about local businesses, events, and activities across the entire Chelan Valley.
Lake Chelan Sports is the place to find top brands like Hoka, On's, Patagonia, and now a full line of Warrior products. With excellent customer service, Lake Chelan Sports has what you need.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
If your chair is comfortable and still fits, don't toss it. Reupholster it at Wenatchee Upholstery. The sky is the limit. From new upholstery in your favorite car to upgrading your seats in the boats. Everything old can be new again when you call Joe. Personalize your golf cart, grandma's chair, your favorite bar stool. Trust your treasure with Wenatchee Upholstery.
He reaches out to me and says, they're going to do the show. I cannot say no to Erica Moshe and the staff and the good people at the Brave Warrior Project. She's been on this show a dozen times maybe now, Erica?
Yeah,
something like that. Last time you and I talked was at your new location, and now you have a new location coming soon. Quick little timeline. Erica and her organization, the Brave Warrior Project, started from scratch. You were in the old Wenatchee World Press Room, which was between the Coho building and the Wenatchee World offices, in a gray, windowless, soulless, industrial kind of space, but it was cheap. Rufus gave you a good deal, $750 a month.
Yeah.
So you had a space, but it was not really what you had. No parking. It was not good for the kids because you were on a busy Mission Street. Then something really cool landed in your lap, and that's when we saw you last. And now something even cooler has happened. Talk about the timeline from the Wenatchee World out to Old Station, and now in Old Station, pretty close to where you are now to your new location. Talk me through that whole cool thing. This is all exciting news.
Yes. So yeah, we started in the press room. Rufus Woods gave us an amazing deal to really help us get our start with our programming and to support children and adults with disability and chronic medical conditions in the press room. Not ideal, but we made it work. He was really supportive, really helped out. So we started there in 2019, and then the building sold, oh gosh, I think in 2022, and we were able to move to what we call the Dovex building, 1705 North Miller Street.
And that's where we saw you last.
And that's where you guys came and saw us last. And then we've been there, we're going on a year and a half. It'll be 2 years in October. It's been a great facility for our organization. It's allowed us to expand our current programming and add programming to better support those in our community that have disabilities and chronic medical conditions.
But that was always a transitional thing anyway. You kind of knew when you moved into that building that you weren't going to be there forever.
Yes. Our hope was to have a facility that we owned that could really support the needs of those that we serve. It's, we serve a unique population with unique needs. And so we've been looking for a couple years. What happened a couple years ago, I applied for some funding, a grant funding called the Dan Thompson funding, and we were awarded that funding, but here in Wenatchee, commercial space is really difficult and hard to find, and so
especially for your organization.
Exactly.
It's not like there's places that aren't for rent. There's a lot of commercial space available, but your organization has unique requirements.
Exactly. We have to really take into account the safety of those that we're serving, and so when this current space came along, we received the award for this funding, and a friend of mine reached out and said, hey, we're looking to sell this building. It was a therapy service for kids with autism. They had sold the business, and the current owners of the business didn't want to purchase the building. They wanted to lease something more in the heart of town, and so the owner of the building called me and asked if Brave Warrior Project would be interested, not knowing that we had a grant, and so it just all kind of worked out. We closed in 30 days. They called us and we closed in about 30 days. It was kind of a whirlwind of a process, but it worked out, and it's now ours.
Nothing closes in 30 days, especially commercial property.
It was pretty amazing. Yeah, it went pretty smoothly. Everything was just right on point, and yeah, we closed in about 30 days. So
I'm smelling some divine intervention here. Somebody was looking out for your organization for this to fall into your laps like this.
Absolutely.
The building is out in Old Station by the Kashmir Valley Bank branch out there, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So the building isn't particularly big, but the fact that it was serving youths and adults with developmental disabilities in the same way that your group does, at least you'd have some advantages there.
Absolutely. The building has an upstairs and downstairs, so altogether it's about 5,000 square feet. We'll be utilizing the upstairs. We're doing a few minor renovations. It's very choppy right now, and not all of the upstairs is ADA accessible, so we're doing a few renovations to make it more ADA accessible, and then we'll utilize the space upstairs, which is about 2,500 square feet. A little tight, site, but it has a fully fenced backyard, and we're on a little over an acre. So our hope is that we'll be able to add some buildings and a space to that acre to really meet the needs of our community.
You have a place of your own, finally.
Exactly, yeah. We're very excited about it.
And the location is very good.
It's perfect, yes.
For you guys, it really is.
Yes, it's going to be great. We have lots of parking. The Link bus, we have a lot of participants that utilize Link services, and so we have lots of parking for them to get in and out. Lots of outdoor space. We have a fully fenced backyard that is larger than it looks, so we're pretty excited to get in there. We're going to add some therapeutic sensory gardens, therapeutic sensory play area. We really have big dreams for the center.
What's the timeline on moving out of where you're at now into the building you just purchased? Probably a while now, right?
Yeah, we're still kind of in the bid process of for construction and the remodel. We're hoping to wrap that up maybe this week and move forward. Then it'll be permitting with the city and then the construction itself. Our hope is to be in by October.
That's a pretty aggressive timeline,
yes,
Erica.
Yes, it is. So that's our hope. But yeah, like you said, permitting can take a while, but we're hopeful that we'll be in by October.
And it's not like you have to rip it down to your studs. I mean, it's
exactly.
just a lot of this is cosmetic. Some of it is structural work, but a lot of it is cosmetic work, right?
Exactly. There's one wall inside the facility that we want to open up, and then we just need to add another ADA accessible bathroom to just help make the flow go a little bit better as we start our programming in there.
You mentioned you got grant money that was just sitting there waiting until you found a facility that suited your needs. You found it, the money came through. So you have a little bit of seed money left over to make some of this stuff happen, right?
Exactly. So the funding went directly to the facility itself. The funding was federal funding that required us to actually purchase a facility or a lot and build. So we were able to purchase that and have just a little bit of money left over to do some of the renovations that we were hoping to do.
Do you get a lot of help from governmental agencies? I mean, you're kind of a little engine that could kind of organization that's only 5 years old. Have you gotten any kind of help in that regard?
This is the first federal funding, government funding that we've received, that we've applied for. We really worked on building our foundation and our structure. We knew that we would grow quickly, and we really wanted to make sure that our foundation was solid before that growth. We didn't want the growth to overpower the building of the structure and foundation. So we really tried to kind of do that, and then now we're at a point where we're starting to look into more of like the government funding and. Yeah. Well,
I mean, obviously the word is out of what the Brave Warrior Project does. And for a quick reminder of what the Brave Warrior does, here's Erica Moshe again for a little Brave Warrior 101, because some people might, they do what again? Give folks just a quick little recap of your organization.
Yeah, we eliminate barriers for children and adults with disability and chronic medical conditions. We do that by offering programs that support life skills for adults and children, social programming for children and adults. We have our adult enrichment program where adults get to come for 3 to 4 days a week and hang out with friends and our staff and play games, learn life skills, cook a healthy snack, exercise. We have a therapeutic adaptive biking program where families can rent one of our bikes for free and take out on the loop. We offer respite services, plan temporary care for the caregivers.
And let's talk about that real quick. This is for people who are the primary caretakers for people with developmental disabilities, regardless of the age level, is a very stressful and very difficult job, and you give these folks a bit of a break, a chance to step back and take a breather.
Yes, and a good example is I have a almost 17-year-old son severely impacted by autism, and my husband and I work opposite shifts, and we don't have a caregiver to take care of him. So respite at Brave Warrior Project, we can drop him off and get 3 hours where we could sleep. We can go grocery shopping struggling. Yesterday I tried to go to the grocery store really quick and we had to leave because he was just struggling a little bit. And so this really gives parents the opportunity and caregivers the opportunity to drop off their child and get a few hours to themselves to do whatever. A lot of our parents say they're going to sleep because, you know, that's a real thing. They just, sleep doesn't really happen as often as you would think when you have a child significantly impacted by their diagnosis. And so it really is a gift to parents. That program's for 3 to 18-year-olds, and typically those children have very limited access to their to our community services, you know, just because of things like what happened to us yesterday at the grocery store. And so they're very isolated, and so this program really does help with the mental health, just the sleep, the stress, and plus the child gets to socialize in our center, at our center, and we have lots of therapeutic sensory equipment. We have a chill spa with amazing lights and sound items, fiber optic tunnels. It's a really fun place for them to be.
And the caretakers have a built-in support system, because now you have all of these parents who know what the other parents are going through.
Exactly. It's just kind of been, it just goes in full circle, like all of it, you know, connecting with other parents. It's really a center where, you know, we want to be the hub for those families. We receive anywhere from 50 to 70 referrals a month. We have over 130 kids come through our programs each month, or adults. That's kids and adults. We're growing. There's a need for what we're doing, and we really are eliminating barriers.
And good news for you folks who haven't made plans yet for Saturday the 18th. Your plans have now been made,
19th.
Because you're going to be helping Eric out. Talk about the superhero walk.
Yeah, so it's actually Sunday, the 19th.
The 19th, sorry.
Yes, from 1 to 3 at Walla Walla Park Shelter 2. This is our 6th year. It's a 3K walk, run, or roll. You can dress up as your favorite superhero. We'll have family-friendly events. We'll have face painting. We'll have hot dogs. We'll have crafts. Batman's going to be there. Elsa, Anna. Walt the Wolf will be there. He paid a visit to us yesterday. He's pretty excited. It's going to be a really fun, family-friendly event.
How does one get involved?
Yes, it's all by donation. So registration fee is just a donation. You can go to our website at thebravewarriorproject.com, our social media, Facebook page or Instagram. You can register a team and get a team together to help support these adults and children that we serve and raise money through social media, or you can just donate to the Brave Warrior Project team.
Now, you want people to register, though, right? So you have a general idea of how many people you're going to be there?
Yes, that's ideal. You can register at the event itself. There will be QR codes to register there. Everything is by donation, where it is a fundraiser, so everything there will be by donation. There's no amount too large or small, so.
$100, $100, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They'll take it. Do you need any help for sponsorships or volunteers to help pull this event off? Because it's on a Sunday. People have some free time.
Yeah, we are looking for volunteers to help set up and clean up. So if somebody's interested in volunteering, you can email us at the info@thebravewarriorproject.com or go to our website.
Do you sometimes go home at night and say, damn, honey, I can't believe after 5 years this is actually happening. We're going to have a home on our own. And what was I thinking 5 years ago? I mean, This is your baby, and now it's your baby is 5 years old. It's through teething. This is a going thing.
Yeah,
this actually happened.
It actually happened. I still have to pinch myself. There's so much work to be done in this within our community to really serve the need of those that have children and adults. So it is such a blessing to us, and we don't take that lightly. The work we're doing is incredible. You know, we have over 1,000 family encounters. It just continues to grow. There really isn't much out there for families that have children and adults impacted by disability or chronic medical condition. So the work we're doing is super important, and the building is just a huge blessing. It just helps, you know, that we're not going to have a mortgage. It's paid off. You know, that it's there for our community, for the families we serve, for the children, the adults. It's just a huge blessing, and we're not gonna get kicked out because it sells, or you know, we can really pour into it what those that we serve need, and we're super excited. We've got some really big plans. We really want to be, you know, we talk about all these wonderful facilities, community centers and facilities, which are absolutely wonderful and great, but you know, a lot of the participants, such as my son, aren't able to access those wonderful facilities because of their you know, anxiety or other unique needs. And so we really want to make this the community center for not only children and adults with disability and chronic medical conditions, but their neurotypical friends too. It's really important that it's really inclusive, not just for those we serve, but for the neurotypical individuals that come. It's really fun. You know, we have a great time. It's going to be a great center. We're super excited. So
I'm assuming, and I may be wrong, but I'm thinking your ratio is about 80% good days to 20% bad for the most part.
Yeah,
you have a lot more good days than bad days.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Erica Moshi, help out the Brave Warrior Project Sunday the 19th of May. Go down there, dress as your favorite superhero. If you want to dress like me, that's fantastic. Or not. Either way. Go to their Facebook page, help Erica out. Congratulations on the new home.
Thank you.
When do we catch up again? And I want to be able to get into the building once you're moved in, and we'll do another get-go.
Absolutely. We would love for our community to see the great work that's going to be done there. So
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Erica.
Thank you.
It's always good to see you.
You too.
You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley, I hope, and we'll be right back.
Let Merry Maids custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee help. Merry Maids cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Merry Maids, let us help.
Let nothing stand between you and the tree stand with this great offer on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Featuring a gas-powered engine that delivers a top speed of 40 miles per hour, outstanding acceleration and handling with cargo, and a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get the Sidekick now for 0 down, 0% APR for 36 months or save $1,000.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support. The family at the Epladolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Epladolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Epladolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Epladolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour. And we're back to wrap up this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is 57 degrees outside of our studios, so we've clicked up about 3 degrees since this show started at 7 o'clock this morning. Northwest wind at 15 miles an hour. The system that's coming in right now, it's going to bring us some windy conditions, but it's also, the relative humidity is just bone dry. We had all that rainfall a couple of Saturdays ago, which really saturated the ground, and all the grass just popped right up, the wildflowers and the grasslands. Well, they're going to dry out with this very windy and dry weather systems coming in. In fact, they had a little bit of a brush fire out near Beverly Burke Road in the lower Columbia Basin down below George yesterday. Didn't really affect anything. They hopped on it right away, but this is one of those scenarios where if any kind of grass fire gets going, it could really take off with the drying out conditions. And of course, the rivers are running a little cold and a little high. And that's the real story today and tomorrow into Thursday until we calm down is going to be the wind. From the National Weather Service, one more look at your forecast. As far as the wind is concerned today, sustained winds about 7, 8, up to 15 miles an hour. We had a rogue gust yesterday at Payne-Moore Memorial Airport last night about 8 o'clock at 53 miles an hour. We're not expecting that. Just breezy today. However, The wind is really going to kick up tonight. The wind will be picking up in intensity, 53 for the overnight low. We're talking about gusts near 30 miles an hour for the Wenatchee Valley, stronger still in some locations. Very windy on Wednesday. We're going to get up to 81, but the winds will be howling pretty good. Northwest wind, a good 20 miles an hour, gusts above that at times. Still windy Wednesday night, 56 for the overnight low. Then we calm down. On Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we'll cool down a little bit, but at least we'll be done with the wind by Friday. That's it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Down south to Peanut Country, where we discover this favorite little treat is the source of some big help around the globe.
Welcome to Small Town Big Deal. I'm Rodney Miller.